Alright, what is up everybody? Welcome back to another video in our game animation sample project where we are currently working on a targeting system. So let's just continue where we left off. In the last video we set up this ability to target or not really target yet, but identify at least which one of the enemies that is closest to us with a little widget. So in this one we will make sure that we can, when we scroll the mouse wheel, we will target the next character. So let's go to our input graph and do mouse wheel. Let's do mouse wheel up. Up. Mouse wheel up. Yes. So let's make a new function. Scroll next target. Target next. Target next. Target next. Target. I don't know. Target next is fine. So here we need to target all actors. Okay, first and foremost, we need to reuse stuff here, right? So this is gonna be our set current target function. So collapse the function set current target. So there we go. So for each loop we already have the find closest actor from before, so we don't actually need the for each loop. So this, I guess all target systems are a little bit differently designed, I guess. In this case, we probably can't reuse this actually. Thinking, because we have to exclude this from this. So let's copy. That's a little bit annoying. We could find closest actor. I'm gonna duplicate this. Find closest. Find closest new targets. But I mean that's basically what this one does. So let's just copy this. Delete this. And do it manually in the target next. Target next, return find next target. There we go. Let's repeat this. Create local variable. Create local variable. Just gonna go through our targetable actors. current closest target. And then we're gonna grab the current target and we're gonna make sure that these are not the same. So this means that we will find the closest one in this array that is not our current target, basically. And then we can set current target with the current closest target. Let's see if that works. And in this set current target, if we already have a current target from before, we also need to remove the previous current target indication. So if current target is already valid, actually, let's add this interface now because it's starting to get annoying to cast. So vi combat general. Toggle lock on widget. So I open this combat general interface, toggle lock on widget. I'm gonna make an input visible. And now I believe this one has the combat general. Gonna add a new tag here for the MC. So perfect. It's a bit annoying because the logic is spread out here because we have this lock on widget here and we can't really do, as I said before, I want to make it all as modular as possible without you having to like manually add stuff yourself to things to make sure that the setup is easy. So we will try doing one other thing. We'll try dynamically adding this lock on widget. So I'm gonna get owner. So on begin play, add component by class, widget, cast to character. Once again, casting to character is fine. attach component to components. We're gonna get mesh. Yeah, because we want to attach it to this mesh here, actually. We don't want it to be attached to the capsule, because when doing animations and stuff, we want it to follow, we want the lock-on widget to actually follow the mesh of the character, I think, and not stay static on the capsule. So the parent will be the mesh, and we will attach this widget component that we are creating on begin play to this one. Snap to target, snap to target, snap to target. And let's see. So if I just set this to 0, 0, this is where it will be attached and spawned. So we need to also add transform of, let's say 110. Add offset. I have no idea if this is gonna work, so this might just be a huge waste of time. And promote to variable. Lock on widget. Then we're gonna set all these variables that we had here. So space, I'm not sure we can even do this. Set widget space, okay. That worked, so that's fine, that's one thing down. What else do we need to do? We need to set the draw size. That we could also, I was also exposed, so that's beautiful. What else? Set widget class. We also need to, should probably do that first. Set widget. How do I set widget class? Blueprint. I must be able to do it somehow. Let me pause and Google, see if I can find it. A second. All right, I'm back. I think this is the one. So construct, just search for create widget. And now we can show our lock on indicator. And from there we can do set widget. So now we actually have a reference to the widget here as well. Let's see what happens. I'm not entirely sure this is gonna work. I'm gonna delete this. Let's see if... Yeah, seems to work. So they all got that created, so that's perfect. So let's just now set visibility. Let's grab all of this. collapse to a function called set up targeting widgets. And this does not need to be replicated or anything. We want it to run on everyone's begin play of this actor. So everybody has a copy of it. So now we can use the interface event. Call toggle lock on widget. And we can just plug this in like so. So now we have a reference to the widget. We have an interface that sets the visibility. We create it dynamically so you don't have to manually add the widget here. It will be created with the NPC as long as you have the tag here. Targeting. We can find it as long as we have the tag. So now in here we should be able to, when we set current target, we're gonna, if the current target is already valid, we're gonna find components by tag, targeting, and on this toggle lock on widget to false. Then we're gonna update the current target to the new variable and make sure to drag it from false as well. And do the same here, because now we want to set this to be visible. And we don't need to cast anymore. And we deleted this, so that's not there anymore. And we can do it like so. So you need to have the tag here. Let's see if that worked. We need to do the same when we target off. Ah, sorry, it was the wrong one. We can just reuse the function here. Add on valid node here. Because sometimes we might, in this case, we set this to nothing, so it's going to remove the widget visibility. Then it's going to set this to nothing, which means that this will be not valid. So just to not make sure that doesn't create issues. And see how that looks. That works. And that works. Look. We are getting somewhere. And now these two are the closest. And the question here is, like, what's the reasonable way to do it? I think most targeting systems would cycle through all of them, whereas this one just goes between the two closest ones. So to be honest, I probably would just keep the... this is probably how I would do it in my own game. Because most targeting systems I myself find extremely annoying because they cycle through weirdly. So I would just go between the two closest all the time, because I feel like that's the normal way you probably would do it. But for the sake of completion and sake of tradition, or whatever you want to call it, for the sake of copying what most other games do, I will make sure that it cycles through all the characters, but let's do that in the next video. Alright, I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions, and like and subscribe if you are new. See ya!